Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 2000 Daihatsu Naked. Up front is a 0.6 liter turbocharged inline 3, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Daihatsu Naked for two reasons. First of all, it is one of the most absurdly named vehicles probably that I've ever reviewed. Now, the Naked was meant to be this sort of stripped down, bare bones, basic utility vehicle, or at least it looks that way, but as we'll get into it, you'll see that it's not actually that basic. But the second reason is that it's a K car, it's weird, it's strange, it's fun, and we're gonna have some fun here today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackbradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. Last but not least, huge thank you to Tiki Bunny Imports for allowing me to borrow their Daihatsu Naked. If you'd like to find out more information, a link to their Instagram will be down in the description below. But let's see what the Naked is all about. Not bad. Definitely not bad. It does take a while for the turbo to actually spool. The first low end of the revs, you feel nothing, and that's it. But then it'll get up there. It'll do it. It will rev. It is fun to drive. Even though it is an automatic transmission, it's still fun and it's still zippy. I like that a lot. So it is a 658cc turbocharged inline 3. Absolutely wonderful, and that works within the confines of the K car classification for engine displacement, and it's fun. It is very, very fun to drive. Now, you could find these in a manual transmission. This particular one is automatic, which I can't hold against it, but also I imagine a manual would be more fun. Last but not least about the drivetrain, this particular Naked is front-wheel drive. However, you can find them also in four-wheel drive and manual. So that would probably be the preferred drivetrain setup, but automatic front-wheel drive ain't too bad either. How does it feel to drive the Daihatsu Naked? Well, besides getting stares left and right and people questioning not only your morality, but what the heck you're driving, it's very fun. K cars are very small, so you do have to remember that. The interior space is a little bit cramped, and we'll mention that in a minute. But the way that the car drives doesn't feel tiny. It feels normal size, which is great. Visibility is okay. You do have relatively thick A-pillars, so that is kind of a downside, but the windows are big and flat, so easy to see out of, and they don't distort anything. With that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. Off to the left is just the speedometer, but off to the right is the tachometer, coolant temperature, and fuel, all in one gauge pod. The steering wheel does have an airbag. This might be one of the first K cars I've ever driven with an airbag. Very cool to see that. Off to the right, we do have a climate control vent. We have our rear wiper, rear defrost, as well as our window locks and some storage cubbies. And moving out of the door, we just have the latch to get in and out. Moving into the center, we do have 2 climate control vents. An aftermarket radio, however, it does have that awesome 2000 screen that pops out of it with a DVD player built in, so it's neat at least. Then we have our climate controls, where to send it off to the left, fan speed in the center, and temperature off to the right with AC. Some plugs, ashtrays. Then down below that, we do have pull-out cup holders. We'll do a big friggin' bottle test. Just like the car itself, the cup holders are tiny, and unfortunately, it fails. And then the shifter. Now, this is an aftermarket shift knob. It's not the original, but it is attached to that standard automatic shifter. Then we get our power window switches. So that's what I meant by the fact that this isn't actually that basic. It has AC, it has power windows, which in K vehicles were not always that common. And so that is definitely a very nice feature to have. The seats are okay. They're a little bit hard, and they are finished in this little bit more rugged material. This does really reinforce the utilitarian aspect. However, when talking about seats, if you really want to talk about the usefulness of seats, you got to talk about the back seats. So let's go do a back seat review. All right, in the back of the Daihatsu Naked, and a couple of things right off the bat. First of all, My knees aren't hitting the seat in front of me. My head isn't hitting the ceiling. This is absolutely wonderful. Awesome, awesome interior packaging from Daihatsu for this vehicle. Now, I do have rubberized floor mats, and this particular Daihatsu Naked is outfitted with the magical gear system. So there are 4 holes on either side up here, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, where you can actually put this metal bar in between them. So if you wanted to hang clothes from it, if you had to hook up different luggage things, if you maybe had mobility issues and needed help getting in and out, or as a helper bar, you could do that. So this is called the magical gear system, and wasn't on all of them, but this one has it. We will talk about these back seats more when we talk about the trunk and cargo space because they're actually removable. So let's hop back there and do a review of the trunk. All right, for as wrong as it sounds, we are around the back of the Daihatsu Naked, and we do have a handle here. Pull it up like this, and we have our trunk. Now, you do get a really nice low loading floor. They moved the spare tire off to the right to allow for more of that, and push this, push down, push this, push down, and then you have these buttons where then you can actually see the seat. I'll come around the side here. The seat actually pops out. You have a handle here, and there you go. You could just take it out with you, leaving an empty, flat loading floor. Now, when you do take the seats out, pull this up, they actually added a little trap door for the seatbelt buckles to go in, so when you push that down, you have a flat loading floor. Very modular, very, very useful here in the back of the Daihatsu Naked. This is what they wanted to do. You could use it as basically a K-truck, pickup truck sort of vehicle. You could use it as a service van. I'm sure different job sites use these over in Japan. So very, very cool to see that. Again, you could see the Honda Element really took inspiration from this. Maybe it was a coincidence, but the floor lining is similar, seat actuation is similar. So very, very interesting to see, and this came before the Honda Element, so the Daihatsu Naked did it first. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this is so very clearly utilitarian oriented. They wanted this to feel like a shrunken down Hummer, or this was a few years before the Honda Element, but you could kind of see those design traits here. You could also see exposed bolts. I was gonna say you could also see exposed nuts, but on a Daihatsu Naked, I think that would be in poor taste. But it looks like this could be a military vehicle. I would love to see one finished in a nice green color or even a flat green if I could be so lucky. That's what Daihatsu wanted to do with this. They wanted that appearance of the off-road rugged vehicles that someone might want, but it actually has nice amenities and it actually drives quite normal. So all nice things about the Daihatsu Naked. The exterior is very interesting. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Daihatsu Naked? Well, did I want to do this video purely for the title? Maybe, yeah. But also, I love driving these little cars, and I love how fun this vehicle is. It looks rugged and tough and ready to go, but it's actually a quite joyful little automobile experience. It has the looks of a hardcore off-roader without all of the suspension and driving drawbacks. The Suzuki Jimny is a good off-road vehicle, but it certainly drives like one. It punishes you on the main boulevard. If you want to daily drive it, good luck, Chuck. Your spine is going to curse you. This actually drives like a normal K car, but still has that look to it. Now, someone in Japan put little tiny all-terrain tires on it to even help out, but it's fun. This thing is just fun. It's very, very cool. It's very interesting, and this is why I love K cars, because they just are so joyful. They don't take themselves too seriously. They're not trying to wow you with power numbers. You strap it to a dyno. What? The heck was that? A lady just talked to me. If you strap this thing to a dyno, you're gonna think it's reporting the room's temperature, not actual horsepower. But that doesn't matter. That's not the point of this. This is where joy met restrictions because the government put restrictions on K vehicles. They could only be a certain size. They could only have a certain engine displacement. They had to qualify for certain qualities. So they took that harsh federal regulation and turned it into something fun, turned it into something exciting, turned it into something just silly. And so that's why I love this car so very much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Tyler from Tiki Bunny Imports for allowing me to borrow the Daihatsu Naked for today's video. Please go check him out on Instagram. He imports some really cool, really wacky cars. If you are in the market for an imported Japanese vehicle, mostly K cars, but he does import the full-size ones as well. Please go check him out with the link down in the description below. Absolutely awesome, always fun, always entertaining, and a really down-to-earth business. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.